I'm sad. I never get to get out of this desk. This is where I live. I spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week here. But for this week, we're going to go and talk about Beto's Pacamara washed from Limon. And we're going to do it live at Pollen.
So we're already delayed by 2 minutes, but we're off to Manchester on the train to go and see Pollen, where this week's In My Mug's going to come.
Safe enough.
Manchester's worse, it's like about the size of...
Well, you know where Dyson lifts are made, don't you?
Near us?
Cannock.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really know who to blame it.
Yeah, I'm from Cannock.
Would you trust a manufacturer?
Not at all.
11th floor.
Oh, that'll do. It's alright. Oh, we'll make it better. It works. Oh, God. So hello everybody and welcome to this week's In My Mug, a different location to normal and a different introduction as well. We thought we'd share a little bit of our train journey up to Manchester. I also have a different camera person today. Hello Amy. Yeah, Amy's not going to speak or come on camera because she doesn't want to, but Amy's filming this for me today, so thank you Amy. We are in Manchester as you may have guessed from the train, in a place called Pollen, which is in the northern quarter but towards the edge of the northern quarter. I'm going to show you a map on the screen now, and on that map you can see the route from Piccadilly. It's not so far, and it's in what is a canal area, but there's a lot of residential around here as well. It is a coffee shop with the most amazing bakery that you've ever seen. I'm definitely taking bread home with me today. It's absolutely beautiful. Has been on, of course, and you should definitely come give them a visit, and when they do, tell them that you come because you saw it on In My Mug, because that will feed the love all the way round in a big circle. We should talk about this week's coffee. This week's coffee comes from Guatemala, and it comes from our amazing friends Beto and Betillo and the family, the Reyes family in Palencia. Now, in Guatemala, it's divided up into 8 coffee districts. Being has-been, we decided we didn't want to work in any of those 8 districts, so we made our own. This is around about an hour and a half, depending on traffic, outside of Guatemala City, to the northeast of Guatemala City, and it is not a recognised growing region, which means that it's a less trodden path. You don't get normal coffee buyers turning up to those parts because it's not on the coffee map. We found it because my very good friend and the 2012 World Barista Champion, Raul Rodas, wanted to buy a coffee roaster. And he emailed me and said, like, where can I get a roaster from? And I was like, I will give you a roaster if you introduce me to some people in Guatemala, as I had no direct relationships there. And if you go to Raul's shop in Guatemala City, you can still go and see the 5 kilo Ambex roaster that has been started on when we had our first proper roastery and I moved out of the garage. So you should definitely go into Guatemala City and see that if you're ever in town. The coffee shop name is Paradigma Coffee, and it's the best place for coffee in Guatemala. A bit like this is the best place for coffee in Manchester. So it all comes full circle. So Beto and his son Batillo have been trying to find a route to the specialty market, and have found it difficult because they were off that beaten track. And how do you find great, buyers that want to buy great coffee? But we went to visit. I fell in love with the whole family. It is the most beautiful of farms. The sunsets there from the patios are to die for, and it really is a super pretty place. There are lots of different varietals on the farm. They have Pacas, they have Bourbon, they have Pacamara, they have Villasachi. What else do they have? Some other things too that would come to me later. But the coffee that we're talking about this week is the Pacamara. Now, what is a Pacamara? Because we haven't done this for a while in my mug, so I think that we really should. A Pacamara is a type of seed that is crossed between a Pacas and a Maracajip. A Maracajip is known for its bigger size bean and bigger size cherry, and Pacas is known for, it's like a Bourbon mutation, which is known for its sweetness and its balance and its body. And Pacas originally comes from El Salvador, which is neighbouring to Guatemala, and the Maracajip comes from Brazil. So they've crossed these 2 coffees, very commonly to be found in El Salvador originally, but now we've seen that propagate out to lots of other countries all over the world, because Pacamara is an interesting varietal. It is not your normal common law garden type. It is either amazing or it tastes of mushrooms and savoury. This one doesn't taste of mushrooms or savoury. It's absolutely delicious, and we're going to find that out in the tasting in just a minute. But Beto decided he wanted to plant this to give the farm some variety, to give some different types of coffees to sell to different buyers. And finding the Reyes family was kind of like a gift from above, because they have this massive diversity of coffees on the farm and an openness to experimenting, learning and getting better. And because not everybody else was knocking on the door, we got in there first, and last year was the first year that we bought everything from the farm, which makes me super proud. From the original 50 bags I think it was, to now that we're buying everything from the farm, and we are looking this year to actually have a contract on a 2-year rolling basis to give the family some security, but also to give us some security that we know that we're going to be getting that coffee coming up. So we're going to whap you on pause. I haven't whapped on pause for years. I used to whap on pause all of the time, but we're going to whap you on pause, and we'll be back with some coffees in just a minute. I love the whap on pause. I really want whap on pause to come back more. But we've got the coffee, so this is on batch and on espresso here today. So let's dive in. So what I find on the front end, and this is like predominant, is like dark chocolate. So I want you to think high cocoa content chocolate, like really big, really chewy, great mouthfeel to it. But it's got some acidity to it as well. There's a little bit of lemon. There's a hint of peach, but what it finishes with is like grapefruit. And I'm thinking more pink grapefruit than, you know, a yellow grapefruit. What this coffee works really well as is an espresso. I've got batch brew and it is tasty. But what the Reyes family are doing with these Pacamaras on the farm, I do not know, but they are nailing it. This is absolutely fantastic, and I hope you feel exactly the same back at home. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for our road trip. Thank you to Amy for filming, and do remember, life is too short for bad coffee. There's one more thing. The humble people that they are here at Pollen didn't tell us about this. This is the coffee shop of the year from the Manchester Food and Drink Festival, which is pretty awesome. If that's not a reason to come, I don't know what is. Do remember, life is still too short for bad coffee. It's a wrap.